You are now tuned into Sparring Minds with my man Charlie Hustle, Chef Main Topic, Mr. Mirror Time, Sammy. Can't forget Hightower, aka Hightower. And on the ones and twos, your boy Dr. Rock and Face Off DJ Payne. We got sports, current events, social issues, main topics, mirror time, and much, much more. Let's get it. It's episode 55.
Yeah,
we're having technical difficulties, but it's all good. We'll get it right.
Episode 55, yes, the double nickel out here. Welcome back to the Sparring Mind. It's your boy Charles Jones here on a brilliant Friday night, ready to get rocking and rolling.
Hightower here. What's up, y'all?
Hello, Sam Little. How's everything?
You already, Chef. Main topic. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. First off, what's good? We got another Friday Night Live show, and I think we got some things we got to talk about. That's pretty crazy out here today. So I look forward to get into that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot going on.
Let's start with the obvious big news, right? Let's start with the big news with Breonna Taylor and the verdict that came in literally right after we ended our last show. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Sammy, what's your initial thoughts when you heard what happened with Breonna and that case? And, I mean, I know there's some things happening now with the family going to civil court and what it seems like. Mm-hmm. So what was your initial thoughts, your initial feelings about the country that we live in and the case itself?
I knew it was going to be some bullshit. I mean, once they called in the National Guard, I already knew what the verdict was going to be. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about it. You know, just sadness. You know, sadness for the woman.
Man, what jumps into your head, brother, as we talk about Breonna Taylor and the justice or lack thereof for this case and all other cases similar?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the campaign and the movement or the slogan or the popular slogan right now seems to be Black Lives Matter, right? You see it everywhere. You see, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but, you know, just another case of Black lives just don't matter. You know what I mean? And, you know, just like I said, like Sammy said, with them doing everything as far as boarding up the stores and just stuff like that, you know, they were prepared. They knew what was going to happen and how it would be. It's just a shame. You can't even be in your own house sleeping, you know what I mean, getting ready for, you know, work the next day or whatever the case may be. And then, you know, it says that Kenneth Walker, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, husband, he can't do what any man on this panel would do, which is defend his home if he hears someone coming in, an intruder. Right. You know what I mean? It's just sad. It's just so many things wrong, you know what I mean, with this situation. So, you know, just bear arms, man, and do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Because it's not a level playing field for us.
Nah, Hightower, I think for our Sparring Minds group here, I think this kind of hit you a little bit more than it hit everybody else. It seems like, you know, it's a deeper connection for you than just another name on the wall.
Yeah, man, this is I mean, I'm a loss for words right now. I've been trying to put my thoughts together, you know, since the verdict came out. And to be honest, I haven't really got all of my thoughts together. But yeah, just off the top, man, this is, you know, it's disappointing. It's, you know, it's sickening to know that, you know, these situations continue to happen. And I think the biggest thing that jumps out is the hypocrisy of the situation where, you know, you award the family a wrongful death suit, but then there's no criminal charge for the wrongful death. It's like, you know, something wrong happened, but you don't want to bring these guys to the table to face these charges. Like, it's just, it's nasty, man. And I don't know. One of these days I'll get my thoughts together, but I've been trying to not get consumed with this too much because it's heavy, man. You know what I mean? And I got a wife, I got a daughter. You know, this could have been them. You see what I mean?
Word up.
Word up. Same situation. I could have been trying to defend the house here and lose one of them members as a result. So it's like, you know, the guilt is with, you know, Mr. Walker, but it shouldn't be. He's doing what he was supposed to do. And as a result, he lost his, you know, would have been soon fiance. So it's just it's a dirty game, man. And I don't know where we go from here. We got to just keep our head up and don't get too discouraged in the situations like this, you know?
There's two different parts of the story for me here. The first is that through my course of travel and social media, part of my phone, but through the course of travel and social media, I see people talking about constitutions and constitutional rights and et cetera, et cetera. Sorry, part of my phone, y'all. I know that we live, so I'm real sloppy right now. So let me just turn this off.
Should you go there with fantasy football?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, but no, I think the first part of this is really crazy when we're talking about constitutions and the constitutional rights that American citizens have in this country, right? And then, you know, one of those constitutional rights is the right to bear arms. And so Mr. Walker, as Ant affectionately referenced him, was living his life just by the constitution of the country that we live in, and still found himself caught in the midst of tragedy here by just protecting his home, which is what every man should be allowed to do. And so it just takes me to an understanding that I may have had a long time ago, and I've tried to share, is just that the laws of this country aren't really for us. And, you know, we talk about it all the time, and it just sounds like Black people complaining again. But every time we try to exercise these particular rights in the Constitution, whether it be the right to bear arms, whether it be the right to gather and assemble, you know, in protesting, anytime we try to exercise these supposed rights of American citizens, we find ourselves on the wrong end of the stick. And so I don't know how many more examples you may need to really get the understanding that these laws aren't for us. These laws were written at a time where they felt that Black people were 4/5, I believe was a definition of us at one time.
Something like that.
And so, you know, this is 3/5. Pardon me. So this is when these constitutional rights were written, that they didn't even see us as citizens, you dig? And so for us to be like they're applicable to us now is ridiculous, and it's also naive. You know what I mean? So we have to kind of understand that, you know, while they may think it's a level playing field, we have to know that it's not. That's the first thought I have about Breonna's situation. The second thought I have about this is that again, as I peruse social media, I see a lot of her family, friends, neighbors with a new hashtag talking about "I'm sorry." I'm sorry that they weren't able to protect her. I'm sorry that they weren't able to get justice for her. You know, these kind of thoughts, which are dope and they're noble. But what do we have to be sorry for? Like, you know, like we as family, friends, citizens, neighbors of a Black woman, we shouldn't have to be sorry that the people we have to protect and serve run up in our crib and kill you. Like, that's not something where we need to be sorry about. It needs to have a more angry, I guess, for lack of a better word, response than an "I'm sorry," which is really just a defeated response, if you understand what I'm saying. If I say I'm sorry, that means I've given up the fight. Okay, there's nothing more I can do here. I'm sorry, I apologize. But that's not really where I think this needs to go, that energy needs to go. Energy has to be more of like, yo, we got to keep moving for you. We got to keep pushing for you. You know what I mean? We got to keep trying to affect some change. And this brings me to what might be a third thought about this entire thing. And I think Maine touched on it a little bit, is that you see all these Black Lives Matters, you see all these motherfucking companies, manufacturers, corporations. Everybody is so-called for us. And the same shit continues to happen to us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what does any of that mean out here? What does any of that mean? It don't mean shit, really, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, we're still going to be subject to the same kind of treatment that we have been. Because while Netflix and the NBA may be sporting a specific banner of support, it has nothing to do with the police departments. It has nothing to do with the federal justice system. It has nothing to do with the people who are supposed to be protecting and serving the citizens of the United States of America. So until those two things align, and they won't, we find ourselves as the victim on the news channel every 3 days with new hashtags and creative T-shirts. You know?
True.
And so, you know, we're still a different story to tell here. You know?
I mean, if folks don't understand now the importance of voting, they never will. I feel like people are so uneducated into, you know, the effects of what voting really does. Like, some people think voting and think it's only the president or it's only the mayor, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, you know, you gotta vote, you know, these votes, you know, put judges in, you know, behind the bench, and they put attorney generals in office, and you know what I mean? Like,
get that attorney general in Kentucky the fuck out of here.
I mean, like, he was voted in, but folks now are like,
Daniel Cameron.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and big bro Mitch, shout out to Mitch. He said, you know, people don't think their vote counts. And I mean, I don't know what more examples you need. I don't know what more you need, fam. Like, the shit keeps popping up in the news every day. Let's talk a little bit more. I don't think we intended on going 15 minutes on Breonna Taylor, but you know,
I mean, but let's put it there. Let's put it there. Like, here we are in 2020 talking about how important voting is. Imagine if folks took their votes seriously 5, 10, 15 years ago. Like, we're all in our 40s now. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we took these votes seriously, then who's to say some of this stuff that's been happening
would have been already kind of resolved a little bit,
because people are in the right place and not in office to let this stuff continue to happen.
Yeah,
it could literally change the course of history. Could have literally changed the course of history.
That's it.
Let me bring up a quick fact about this case to y'all, because it's still something that stuns me. And living in this country, being stunned as a black man shouldn't, you know, like, you should be used to a lot of this shit. But I'm stunned by the fact that this indictment was basically them saying that this cop was guilty of reckless endangerment. Not murder of a black woman. Reckless endangerment. The fact that he shot into a room and didn't know where his bullets were going was what you're being convicted of. Not that, hey, you hit her 5, 6 times. That's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one.
Yeah, one cop shot 16 times in the house.
16 times in the house they weren't even supposed to be at.
16. Wow. Mm.
Yeah, man.
It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's one that. Thank you, Queen. Oh, we live. Like, they know I'm married. You just gotta let's just do it. Oh, okay.
Wait, you're live?
Yeah, I'm live. It's Friday.
Hey, how you doing? Hi, Faye.
She walks in in a heavy conversation, but all of us here would do everything we can to ensure her safety.
Of course.
Yeah.
When somebody's coming in your door at 2 a.m. and you got the gun in the drawer just for this reason.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's a tough time. It's a tough time for us. So, again, my bro Mitch, it's a slap in the face for the black and brown community. Here's what I hope. I hope the black and brown community are over with the turn the other cheek type shit. You know what I mean? We got to be over that. Like, there's some point in our lives going to be a call to action. What that action is, I hope that we get some amazing community leaders to help define what that action is. Maybe it's not for Sparring Minds to define what that action is. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not for us. Maybe it's for some of the pastors who we entrust in our communities. Maybe it's for some of the black police officers. Imagine that, to help define what that action is. Maybe it's for the elected officials who actually said to get our vote, hey, yeah, I'm going to side on black issues. Maybe it's their time to step up now and say, no, this is a different.
No, it's past their time, man. It's the people's time to take these votes seriously, because these people work for us. You see what I mean? So the sooner people realize that, the better things should become. But these elected officials work for us. At the end of the day,
I disagree with you.
No. I mean, agree or disagree, but the rule is we're putting you in position because we expect you to speak for us. If you're not speaking for us, then you don't need to be holding that seat.
Are we fools to expect them to speak for us when no one else in the past has?
Well, if we're not voting, we don't have any voice to say anything at all.
How many times have we voted in a black mayor, a black governor, and then the same thing will happen? I'm not saying this is just.
I don't want to say it's a black thing, because the attorney general in Kentucky is black and he got voted in, and look what he did. People really got to do their homework and understand who they're putting in these offices. Like, I'm sure he has a record of doing some fuck shit in the past that should have been questionable for him to be in that seat overseeing what he's overseeing. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a black issue for me. It's just you got to have the right people in place. We have allies who are out here doing things for us, but these aren't the guys who are in these positions. I mean, we look in the mirror and we expect, black folks to think, feel, and smell like black folks, but that's unrealistic.
I guess. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry, Ken.
No. Go ahead.
I yearn for the day when we see a clear direction laid out for the communities dealing with this kind of oppression, right? But I think at the end of the day, not even enough of us feel like we're being oppressed. Don't you guys have conversations with black people and they're like, I've had it where they're it's his fault. Like, dude, like, you have to first understand what we're going through so then we can move as a unit, so that we can move as togetherness. You dig? But I got some people living across the street from me, right? And they're lawyers and they're doctors and they're above. They're trying to put themselves above the drama that we go through in the regular day-to-day life, by thinking that their income and the car that they drive is going to put them in a class that can circumvent the drama that we're going through down here with the regular people. So I think that once we get together as a people with an understanding of what our objective is, then we can have some kind of real effect. Then we can have some kind of real change.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But you're right. If people don't really appreciate what's going on until it hits their front door, but that's not the way to think.
That's the biggest.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a man, so I'm never gonna know what it's like to be a female, right? But I know what's right and wrong for them, and I know what I want to keep them safe. You see what I mean? So it's the same thing. You don't have to experience something to understand that shit is fucked up out here.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's tough. Obviously, we're gonna say RIP to Breonna. And maybe it's also an RIP to the way that a lot of us look at the justice system, which would be a good thing. Rest in peace to the way you thought the justice system was going to take care of you. Rest in peace to the thought that the justice system was going to avenge you. Rest in peace to the idea that you thought that the justice system was going to actually provide justice. Rest in peace to that idea also. And now that you have a realization that it's not going to do so, now we could take some different steps. Now we could do something different with that. But until then, we'll be talking about something similar to this on our next episode of Sparring Minds.
Jesus, hope not. My God.
It's a revolving cycle here with us. And so, prayers up to the family. Prayers up to all of us as we navigate through. So let's kind of lighten up a little bit. I know we're live. We're supposed to be having a little bit of fun on our Friday night shows. I don't really have many short jokes, but we are going to get into Tory Lanez. Let's see. Yeah. Thank you, Mick. Before I jump off of this, and Maine, you brought this up in the pre-show because Charles Barkley and Shaq had some comments on Breonna.
Right. So Charles Barkley and Shaq basically tried to say that these cases are all being lumped together, right? So they're trying to say that the Breonna Taylor situation and a situation like George Floyd they're not the same thing, right? And what they basically said was it's the boyfriend's fault why this happened. And all the boyfriend is doing, again, is what any man on this panel or any of our good friends or listeners, viewers that are on the live right now would do too. If someone is coming in your home in the middle of the night and you're sleeping in the bed with your woman, like anybody, if they're a registered gun owner, the guy has never been arrested, anything, doesn't have a record at all, does not have a record, and is a licensed gun owner. You know what I'm saying? And they're basically saying it's his fault why she got killed for coming into the house. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're saying, we as Black people shouldn't be lumping these things all together, like these cases, and think that everything is very similar. So, what are you guys' thoughts on Shaq and Charles Barkley? I didn't see it, so I'm not sure if it was Kenny Smith. If Kenny Smith said anything too on it, I can't see him doing that. But I didn't think I would see Shaq or Charles Barkley doing it. So, what are you guys' thoughts on what they said last night? So I'll wrap it around real quick. Capo.
Yeah, come to me first, man, because I disagree. I disagree with you saying that you didn't see Shaq or Chuck saying that. Like, I totally saw them saying that. So
no. I said I didn't see Kenny Smith.
Let me keep going. I got you. Let me keep going. Yep. So Shaq or Chuck, I totally see them saying some shit like this because
I got what you're saying.
Because we know Shaq's been wanting to be a cop for 20 years now. He's been wanting to be in law enforcement. He's been wanting to be in that game, right?
Isn't his stepfather a cop?
Yes.
Or is a soldier?
Yeah, with a military background at that. So we know, but although we've heard him say he wants to be there in that role, I've never heard him say he wants to affect change for the African American community. I never heard him once say that. I just heard him say that he wants to be in that role. Cool, fine. Push Shaq to the side, right? Charles Barkley he's been Republican for my lifetime. You know what I mean? Like his stances have been for that. He damn near ran for governor of Alabama on that kind of ticket. So Charles Barkley and these kind of married to a white woman, that's irrelevant. But Charles Barkley has been on that stance for a very long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's kind of been that way. So I don't expect much less from those two bozos. Kenny Smith is where I would have liked to hear some real commentary. Because Kenny seems to have his feet entrenched in the hood, or at least in the communities that he kind of grew up in New York. Kenny's giving you some viable information from our standpoint. You know what I mean? So Kenny, who I think I would have liked that heard from on that standpoint. Get Shaq and Chuck the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that Charles Barkley, I don't even want to get on that real quick, but I heard a little clip this morning just saying that when he was in Philly, he carried a gun like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He went when he was younger. So like,
yeah, I don't understand the thought process on that. Because I know if it was someone entering their house, they're firing away. So I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't agree with him at all.
Hi.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, and middle finger to Shaq, Charles Barkley, and anyone who thinks like these guys, where it's always on the side of the police. It's like there's a red thread between all these situations. So yeah, you don't lump them together. Common sense would tell you that, but the common denominator is that Black people are dying at the hands of police. So however you want to slice it, that in itself is an issue. There's been so many various cases where folks are losing their lives at the hands of police for actually doing nothing. So it's like for you to sit here and say, "Oh, we don't lump them in," and yada yada yada, it's the boyfriend's fault. It's like, okay, so maybe in that one case, maybe you're right. But what about the other 100? Like, you have an excuse for all of them too? Like, you know, you got guys getting killed in Walmart for carrying a toy gun that was sold in Walmart because someone called the cops and said he had a gun. It's like, Walmart sells the gun. He's carrying a gun that he's probably going to buy in Walmart. You see what I mean? It's like, how do you make it make sense? You're going to have, how do you excuse shit like that? You know what I mean? So, middle finger to people like that who always want to find an excuse to defend, you know, law enforcement when they do some fuck shit like this, because you just can't.
And also, you know what, Maine, as we continue on this, it really forces us as fathers, as husbands, as boyfriends, as men in our community to put a spotlight on the real champions for our community. And sometimes this, you know, you got to tell your kids, you got to tell your mans next to you, you got to tell you, listen, like, not everybody is a hero for Black people. Not everybody is a hero for oppression. Not everybody's a hero for the down and out. Not everybody's a hero for justice, because Shaq and Chuck don't seem to be that. Yeah, no. We might have liked them in '93 when they had the Magic jersey on. We might have liked them when they was running for MVP. That doesn't mean that their opinions mirror the ones of us who are going through it on a daily basis. You know what I mean? They may have gotten to their millionaire status. We kind of left everything behind and then live in different types of circles. They may not understand the fight that we're living through. You know what I mean? So listen, man, if they've grown aloof, then make sure you educate the youth coming up under you and saying, listen, just because they're good at ball doesn't mean they're a role model.
Yep.
And Barkley had a commercial saying that. I am not
ironic.
A role model.
I'm not a role model.
He let you know a long time ago.
Hey, he's been proving it since. So,
yep.
Fact though.
Yeah, he hasn't lived our life in what 30-something years. He hasn't lived in our shoes.
No. So now let's get back to fun Friday night. And let me segue by saying that if Charles and Shaq are not role models, Tory Lanez is also not a role model. Tory Lanez is not somebody we should follow example from. So educate me on what's going on with this now. From what I understood, he went on live last night and in an effort to kind of clear his name, apologize, come let the truth spill out, and then released an album.
Right, I was going to say they released the album. It was a little more than that. A little more than that.
Educate me.
I mean, yeah, Tory Lanez finally, came out on his live to speak on the situation with that happened with Megan Thee Stallion, and yeah, in the same token, gave us some new music to rock out to. You know what I mean? He's out on bail right now, I believe, right? So he hasn't been cuffed or anything for this situation. There's no charges or anything. But Tory always seems to be doing the most on his live.
So I have a small problem.
Yep.
What did he actually apologize here? Like what happened in the album release that made this about Meg?
Apparently there's a song or something, right?
Right.
I think he recorded.
He had a couple bars in the song where he talks about that night, and he does apologize to Megan. And I guess the one thing, and I didn't know they were in a relationship, at least according to his bar, at least. He said something similar like, it's still all good. I still love you, blah, blah, blah. And what I got from him is that they were in a relationship, which I was like, oh, that's a big woman to be dating a man so small. Salute to Tory and Meg. I had to lighten the mood up, fellas. Sorry, man. We've been going like,
Tory done pissed off a couple of people with that song too. Because what? NBA players?
Troy. You say Troy or
Tory.
Okay.
So he's making up for his shortcomings by releasing an album. That's what.
I mean, he said he was
you could have did this without being extra about it. You could have just put out an album and left all that other stuff alone. You know what I mean? Like, you just bringing more heat to yourself. I get it. You need promotion or whatever, but
right.
You got to recoup some of that money.
Nasty.
He's in promo mode right now, fellas. He's in promo mode. Regardless, he's in promo mode. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if I was Meg, I'd have a little problem with this. Just a little one.
What's that?
I mean, she can't have a big problem. It was Tory after all, right?
I mean,
I don't know. Someone actually told me that the album was good. So
he makes good music, man. He's just a cornball when he's not recorded.
I'm about to say, let's not get it twisted. However we feel about, him personally, the brother does make good music.
Yes, he does.
Cannot say anything on that part of it. He absolutely makes good music. No question about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, as
just
Chuck
bad
said,
judgment.
He makes shortcomings. You know what I mean? Shooting females with the fact that the brother's a hell of an artist. So you can't knock that part of it.
What has Meg responded? Do we know if Meg has responded to this? Or?
To this, no.
To this, no.
I don't believe.
But she did come out a few weeks ago saying that it was him that shot her. So
yeah,
this is probably his response to that.
Well, I guess we'll stay tuned for that too. I mean, maybe on a short news day we can kind of bring that back up.
Yeah.
Sports. So we did the Charles Barkley thing. I should have segued into sports because there's some news happening on the HBCU front, Hightower, that you was kind of giving me some. So I know a while back we talked about Mikey, kind of talking about HBCUs. Give me some more data on that. Is anything new happening?
Yeah. It's been a long time coming, man, but the light is finally starting to shine on some of these HBCUs, man, and it could be the turn for the better, for not just them, but for the athletes in general. But what's going on lately is a few different things. Like we mentioned in the pre-show, I can't think of the brother's name, but there's a brother who committed to Howard. He was a top 5 recruit, I think he was. Most recently, is a Noah Budden is a number 1 quarterback recruit going to an HBCU.
Yeah.
The famous,
salute.
Deion Sanders, prime time. He took a coaching job at an HBCU. Jackson State. And
you see his lineup?
Nah, so that's false, bro. I can't.
You see his coach's lineup?
Oh yeah, that too. But yeah, the first order of business for his dad, for Deion Sanders, was to get his son a scholarship to go to the same school.
Dope.
So I mean, I mentioned this in one of the comments on the group we were in earlier, but something to the effect of him following the blueprint of taking a position and then open the door and letting people come in behind you. You know what I mean? And he's looking out for his son. He's probably gonna look out for a whole bunch more because it's Deion. I'm sure he's connected. His son's connected. Mm-hmm. So we should see the floodgates open where HBCU should be getting all that traction in the next couple of seasons. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Post COVID.
I love it. Let me jump on that real quick. Unless you have something you want to jump in on that, man, because I wanted to go in on that Jackson State situation.
No. Just I forget his name. I don't know if he's Starmaker's cousin or brother or something, but Mir Maker committing to Howard. You know what I mean? So I think just with everything going on in the country lately, I think that it's super duper dope that our prestigious athletes are going to go to these HBCUs to keep that money funneling through those communities. You know what I mean? Because that will be the bigger thing. You will have no choice but to shine a light on these schools and these divisions, and these games will be televised. It'll just open up a whole bunch of stuff. And salute to Deion. You know what I mean? T.O., Warren Sapp, this is amazing stuff. So at least that's something good we can at least see, is that our athletes will go to schools where, for our people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
so it's incredible. It's incredible that we talk on the show when we're actually talking seriously. We talk often about how money affects change, right? It's one of the lead drivers in change, and that sports money going through HBCUs is a gigantic change. And so that's my first point on that. I'm sorry, I'm not confused about the. Oh, it's literally going to restart.
Seriously?
Oh shit!
Like 5, 4, 3,
like
2.
15 minutes.
All right.
Okay, so let's fast forward. Oh shit! Money affects change. HBCUs will benefit from this. Jackson State. That's false about Warren Sapp going down there to be D coordinator. He went on Instagram.
Okay.
D-line.
I thought it was defensive line. I'm sorry. I thought it was
D-line. Yeah.
He went on Instagram or Twitter and said there's no chance I'm going to Mississippi. So that's and obviously the school's in Mississippi. So that came right from a verified account from Warren Sapp. I don't know about T.O. I don't know about anybody else, but Sapp said he's not going. So that's that. And also Prime said, don't, knock it off with the rumors. So, Prime also made some comments about that also. So I don't want us to jump the gun on the Jackson State coaching situation, but Prime getting the job there is incredible either way you spell it.
Yeah, salute.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get into the BMF podcast. They're Boston based, which is pretty good, right? Like supporting something that's Boston based. I'll tell you what I'll do, fellas. In order to be time friendly, let me skip the intro. Let me give you some audio, and then we'll go from there. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get it.
So my whole thing to you is, I feel like Troy Ave. I was a Troy Ave fan. Like, I thought Troy Ave could rap. I thought he had a lot of skills. He had the cocky in him and stuff like that. Is he like that in real life? Real like cocky into himself?
I used to always tell people I feel like he should show people more of.
So you know the real him.
Right, there you go.
Okay, so you've seen a different side of Troy Ave that we didn't get to see, but the public side of Troy Ave that I seen, he was real cocky, real ignorant, stuff like that, and he got into the situation that he got into. I don't like the way he handled that situation. Felt like he was doing a little bit too much talking, and now he tried to run away from the street shit. Now he's trying to say the street shit's not real and all that. I really didn't appreciate that.
What would you do if you was in this situation?
I'm not telling. Period. And I think Fever, and I honestly, yes, you have to. You have to. And I think Fever, he didn't deserve that pussy. I honestly believe that. I wanted you here so I can tell you that. Troy Ave did not deserve to fuck you.
Bro.
Yo, that's nuts.
Ooh.
Here's what I'm going to ask you, fellas, because I've never heard something more. Well, let me just ask the question. First off, there's obviously a negative connotation to dudes talking down on another man to get some box, right? There's obviously like, get the fuck out of here. What's your immediate thoughts when y'all hear this kind of conversation? Let me start with you, Sammy. Your immediate thoughts when you heard what he was saying to the former girlfriend of Troy Ave.
Man, that's the corniest thing I've ever heard. And on air, live. Like, no, he disgusts me. He's going against the code. It's just, I don't know. He had no shame, man. No shame. No shame kicking game, man. Somehow.
High Tower, give me something, man.
I mean, to piggyback off what Little said about him not following the code, it's probably a topic we gotta get into another day. But if you're not of that ilk, does the code apply? It's almost like the whole snitching thing. But we'll get to that another time.
Interesting.
What this guy did was just flagrant, and whether it was just for show clicks, or if he was like seriously trying to get get some airtime with Shorty, he would have bought it the wrong way.
Oh, he was trying to get some airtime.
Yeah, he was trying to add some more E's to the girl's name. This was crazy.
Mano, where are you with this obvious attempt at putting down another man in order to put himself on?
Yeah, it's a couple of rules in life, you know what I'm saying? And there's no part for that in the game. Like, period. You know what I mean? If you're gonna shoot your shot, shoot your shot. Do your 1-2. But absolutely positively, do you never throw anyone under the bus in an attempt to, you don't throw anyone under the bus, period. But you definitely don't do it in an attempt to shooting your shot with a female. You know what I'm saying? If she gonna rock with you, she gonna rock with you based on who you are, what you do, or she gonna like the vibe you give her, whatever the case may be. But doing stuff like that ain't scoring no points at all. You know what I'm saying?
You actually lose points.
Yeah, right. There's no you're not scoring any points with that kind of stuff right there. You know what I mean? So, it's just something like that is something I can never, ever, ever see myself doing. You know what I mean? To even say something. If you're trying to shoot your shot, why are you even mentioning the next man? It's just crazy to me.
Let me give you this bit of information because I echoed what you guys are saying here as well. And I was met on social media with the fact that, he knows that he's an entertainer. He knows that he's doing a podcast. He knows that he's got people listening. So he's saying these things for ratings. It's not really how he moves.
Shock chop.
I saw people co-signing him, and I saw very solid individuals, you know what I'm saying, like co-sign him and to say he's a solid dude, right? So on their me personally, I'm only speaking for me. Me personally, on their merit, I'm gonna assume that homie's a solid brother, but that part and saying that right there, just is for me, that's just like shock value would be the only thing, or to go viral would be the only thing that makes sense of why you would even say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying like, because people are gonna be like, oh shoot, this guy was saying something about Troy Ave. Yo, let's go check it out. Clicks, likes. Right. It could be for that. It could be. People say something go viral all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it could be for that. I'm just saying, me personally, that's something I would never do. So
I don't know.
Jeopardizing your character.
Yeah.
That's not solid type character. That's not.
It's not. Just morally, it's morals. It's just about having morals, yo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like,
yeah, that's a bad look for him. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean,
I don't
it's a bad look. I mean, if he's stand up like his peoples are saying, it wouldn't even cross his mind to say something like that. You know what I mean? If he's so stand up. So I'm a little bit confused by it. We got 7 minutes, fellas. Let me jump into something real quick. I'm just about to freestyle, so y'all stay with your boy, all right? And this is live, too. Y'all already know how we get down, man. Relax. We do this out here.
It's time for Sparring Minds for Give with my man Charlie Hustle and them Sparring Minds boys. Forgive or not?
I'm sorry. So sorry.
So as you can see, I
like that. I like that.
Segment is getting incredible out here, B. And so while we got 6 minutes on the clock, Hightower, keep me honest, okay?
All right.
I got 3 Sparring Minds for Gives, fellas. And next week, for people tuning in who was watching, I got a new segment coming out next week as well. We're just gonna keep dropping bombs on you. But for right now, let me hit you with these. First, Sparring Minds Forgives, and these got to be fast. Go, give me your forgiveness or not. We'll keep moving. North Korea's Kim Jong-un apologized after the killing of a South Korean civilian official near the two countries' disputed sea border. South Korea's military on Thursday accused Kim Jong-un of shooting the man whose Seoul believes was trying to defect to North Korea. Kim Jong-un said the actions are unsavory and they should not have happened. Do we forgive Kim Jong-un for having this guy killed? Sammy.
You know what? I'm gonna forgive him. My man,
here we go. Here we go.
Only because I can care less, but I'm gonna forgive him.
Hightower, are we forgiving Kim Jong-un for killing this civilian?
How do you forgive someone for taking the life of another under these circumstances? That's like forgiving. That's like forgiving these officers in Kentucky. Like, nah, get that. Nah.
Man, are we forgiving Kim Jong-un?
Absolutely, positively not.
All right, y'all hit us in the comments. Y'all let me know if y'all forgive Kim Jong-un as well, fellas.
I'm not allowed in China.
Apple has apologized for a Siri glitch that identifies police departments as terrorists.
Oh shit!
That's not a glitch.
So apparently, if you ask Siri where are the terrorists, it suggests 5 police departments in California.
Siri's not wrong.
Jermaine, do we accept Apple's apology for the glitch in Siri?
Yo. Nah, I love what Apple's doing. So yeah, no forgiveness for that, man.
Hightower.
I love it.
Listen,
love it.
This is one of those power moves, man. It's like, yeah, it's a glitch, but we know what time it is. We know what time it is. I'll give him a pass.
Sammy, do you forgive?
I'm forgiven. Yeah, I'm forgiven. Yeah, I forgive.
Okay. Last one. We got 3 minutes, Hightower. You watching me?
No, but I am now. Go ahead.
The final forgives. Wells Fargo CEO Charlie Scharf apologized in a letter to the employees for saying the unfortunate reality is that there is a very limited pool of Black talent to recruit from with this specific experience. He went on to say, I apologize for making an insensitive comment reflecting my own unconscious bias. Sammy, are you accepting the apology of Charlie Scharf for saying the talent pool of Black people is limited in the financial industry?
Nah, fuck him. I don't forgive. Nah, he done fucked up my streak.
Hightower, are you forgiving the Wells Fargo CEO?
Not even close. If this was, say, 1995, maybe you give him a pass. It's 2020, man. You got to get your head out of the sand, man. You can't be saying shit like that.
Mano,
yeah.
Are you accepting them?
Absolutely, positively not. Fuck him, man. Tupac style with the double middle fingers.
Sparring Minds listeners, that was the fastest ever Sparring Minds in the games. We got it done in 3 minutes. That gives us just enough time for mirror time. Sammy, bless me, brother.
All right. I don't have the fancy, introduction today, but, a man without vision for his future always returns to his past. I'll leave you guys with that for today. It was a blessing to be here with you guys.
Absolutely a blessing.
Yeah.
One more prayer and RIP to Breonna. And I apologize. We're up against the clock. My computer is going to do what it does here, so I wanted to kind of get as much content as before it does that. So for you guys tuning in on the lives, expecting an hour show, an hour and some change, we're here at 50 minutes. So you accept my apology. We'll give you 15 more minutes in the next show. How about that? So with that said, it's your boy Charles Jones.
It's Hightower.
It's Sam Little.
It's the chef. Main topic. Let's get it.
We out of here. We'll see y'all soon, man.
Peace.
Yes, get well, Dad.
Chuck, you need an Apple computer, baby.